Be advised, the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Philippines Uncut. I'm Buddy Kunanan. Now, on this show, we talk about everything under the sun. And for the first time last week, we talked about the supernatural, unseen beings and things that go bump and knock in the night. Now, I tell you, the response to this show was so good that we decided to have another show about the topic to talk about the issues and the topics much further. And on this show, Ghost Protocol Paranormal Investigations Part 2, we will talk about dreams, we will talk about psychic abilities, we'll also talk about the personal experience of two questers who were with us last week, and they're with us here again in the studio today. And with me again is Mr. Nick Nangit and Eric Asuncion, both veteran spirit questers. Welcome back to the show, Nick and Eric.
Thank you, Buddy, and thank you. Good evening to your audience.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Buddy, and good evening to all of you.
No, thank you very much for taking time out from your busy schedules to join us today to share with the audience, things about this very, very interesting, fascinating subject. Yeah. Now, for those who are just tuning in to this first show tonight, let's have a little introduction, Nick, starting with you.
Okay, well, I've been with the Spirit Questers, the group, into paranormal and psychic activities since 2004.
Okay, but professionally, I mean, being a spirit quester is something you do on the side.
Okay, although, all right, since you asked for it, well, I'm a tax consultant and I'm also a concert pianist.
Wow.
Just that.
Okay. And I mean, being a concert, how long have you been a concert pianist?
Since 2000, 10 years. I marked my 10th year last year.
Eric?
Okay, well, for me, I'm an HR practitioner. I've been practicing HR for like what, give or take 20 years. Okay, I started working in 1989, so it's basically I'm on my 22nd year, this 2012 or 2011 rather. And I started with the Spirit Questers. I joined the group in 2004, and I was an active member until 2006.
Okay.
There.
Now, tell us, guys, about the origins of spirit questing.
All right. It started as a shamanism class of Sir Tony Perez in the Ateneo school. That was way back in 1996. All right. And the first quest that was held was in Horseshoe Village by his group of volunteer students. But then the word spirit questing actually came from a shamanism ritual, okay, which is practiced by the North American Indians, okay, wherein they put an adolescent, the tribal leader of the community will put an adolescent below the ground, leave him for days and nights.
Underground.
Yes, underground. And that individual will have to survive on his or on her own.
Okay.
During that time, there will be animals, spirits that will make its presence felt, their presence felt, and also ancestral spirits. And if this adolescent is able to survive, then it's a rite of passage. That individual will know the role that he or she has in the community and will now be considered as an adult.
Okay. Now,
And also,
Yeah.
if I may say, strangely also, there's this word manito in North America that is akin to the anito word that we have. They not only sound alike, but they also mean the same, ancestral spirit. Yeah.
Manitou.
Yes.
They're essentially the same.
Right.
Manitou, Anit.
Yes,
Anito.
phonetically and
Yeah.
Right.
and could there be a link between the North American
well, as Sir Tony
tradition
said,
here?
that probably because in the past there are land bridges that connected America to Asia, so that could be an explanation.
So you could talk about something that goes back
Ages.
Ages.
Eons.
Eons,
Yes.
eons ago.
Now, let's talk about the nature and process of spirit questing. How do you guys spirit quest and who developed this technique? I understand you guys form a circle.
Yes.
And then, anyway, continue.
As we mentioned last time, there's like a scanning process
Okay.
being done. We can do remote scanning before we go to a certain place. The spirit questers, the group of volunteer psychics, will try to find out what is the issue or what are the issues of that place. When we reach that place, we do scanning proper. We close all the lights. We move from one room to another with the agent. The agent means the person who called on us. Okay. And then after that, we discuss among ourselves, the spirit questers, the issues that we find, and then we discussed it with the agent. After that, if there's a need for forming a circle, then we do form the circle. But before that, I believe Eric discussed the
Tower of Light.
Tower of Light.
The Tower of Light, which is a protection exercise. And the protection exercise that's not only for the people in the quest, for us questers, but also for people outside of the circle. So that Tower of Light protection is basically one for psychic. The main essential role of that rather is for psychic protection during the actual spirit quest itself, or the quest circle rather.
And during the scanning phase, when all of you as a team walk through a residence or a building or an area, you all have, I understand, different strengths.
Yes.
Right.
Like some of you can see,
Right.
see spirits.
Yes.
Some can feel the presence. Some
Right.
can smell.
Right,
Some
right.
can hear.
Yes, that's
So
true.
it's all linked, as we said in the last show,
yes.
all linked to the sense, the physical, sensory
right.
senses.
Yeah. Each physical sense has a counterpart in the psychic world.
Okay.
So for those who can see what others cannot see, have the psychic eye. They are clairvoyant. Okay. For those who can hear what others cannot hear, are the clairaudient. Yeah.
Yes.
For those who can smell what others cannot smell, are the clairaromatic. For those who can taste what others cannot taste, are the clairgustus.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
huh?
that's weird. And for
It's
those,
quite rare.
yeah,
It's quite rare, but
Yeah.
there are. Believe me, there are
yeah,
people.
but they're rare.
Yeah, but you'd have to eat something. I mean, unlike when you see something,
Right.
if you're a...
Right.
if
It happens. You know what? For instance, a person dies in your family.
Yeah.
That person loves bagoong.
Okay.
Suddenly you're eating, in McDonald's, and then suddenly
You
you
taste
taste bagoong. So why bagoong? It's an indication that that person's telling you that he has already passed away. So that's
And-
clear gustus.
And there was one question, I don't know if you met him before. Anyway, he had that gift. So if he would always have a peculiar taste if there was a certain presence of either an entity. If it's an entity, it's a different taste. If it's a human spirit, it's a different taste as well.
Right.
So it really depends.
Very interesting point. Let's take off from there for the benefit of
Okay.
viewers who are
Yeah.
just tuning now.
Yeah.
Human entities and non-human entities.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's
yes.
elaborate on that.
All right.
Okay.
Before that, let me just finish the
Sure.
last physical sense, and that's for those who can touch, who can feel what others cannot feel. These are the clear sentient, or the empaths, like Eric and I
So
here.
both of you are
Empaths.
empaths.
Right.
Do you have any other psychic?
yeah,
among the five
Yeah,
senses.
we are also clairvoyant at times. We can also hear.
But really empaths. That's
More
that is
empaths.
your strength.
Right,
Your
right,
strength.
right.
Okay.
Now, as to the human and non-human entities, well, the human spirits are, of course, the what we live when we die, right? For the non-humans, they correspond to the four elements: fire, water, earth, and air. Right.
Okay, so let's say in a paranormal infestation
Okay.
or a phenomenon.
Manifestation, probably.
Let's call
yes.
it a phenomenon.
Phenomenon,
Okay.
right.
In a certain house or building, it's not necessarily a ghost. It
Not
could be, as you
necessarily.
said, an elemental.
Yes.
But it's either one of the two.
Yes.
Or it could be a combination of both.
Yes.
But there are only like two forms or two types, which is again the human spirits or elementals. And the elementals could be again in the form of either the four elements, which is Nick has mentioned.
Yes.
So it's either or.
Right.
Which are harder to deal with, the human spirits or the elementals?
No, there's no difficulty. There's no difficulty really. Some of us are more attuned to communicating with the human spirits, like in my case. Others are more capable of understanding or communicating with the elementals. Elementals are called elementals because they are guardians of nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not necessarily bad.
Oh no.
They're
No,
not.
that's the
They're not.
misconception that's being propagated by media and by the
because-
movies.
Yeah.
But like an
That's
elemental can be like a capre.
Yes,
And
yes.
people automatically think a capre is evil.
No.
I mean, that's the perception.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
wrong. It's good that you have
we
this
learn
show
ab-
because it's good that the public will know. It's about time that the public knows that these elementals are neither good nor bad. They are capable of both.
So it's like,
like humans.
Yeah, it's essentially, for me, I'd like to believe it's like the counterpart. It's our counterpart in their world.
Right.
If there are good people, there are good elementals. If there are bad people, there are bad elementals.
Malas mo na lang if you bump into
Yes.
a
Exactly.
And their sense of beauty is different from our sense of beauty. For
Yes.
us, we find ourselves, beautiful. For them, they may be hideously looking. You just like the characters from Narnia, the characters from Lord of the Rings. But that is beautiful for them.
What is a doppelganger? It's a German word actually,
Yeah.
which as in literally translates to a
An omen, a foreboding.
like a doppelganger is
Yeah.
like another being that mimics
Yes,
or mirrors
yes.
yourself,
Yeah.
but it's not you.
Right.
So what
Yes.
is a doppelganger, and do they exist?
Yes, they do. They
Yes,
are
they
actually
exist.
elementals that can take the form, the shape of the person that they're mimicking. Because elementals want to be humans. I mean, they like the features of being humans, so they try to imitate. Some of them are playful. So there are times when you're at home, you're looking for somebody, and then suddenly you see that person cross, and then you call, but that person is not answering, and then later on you find out that that person is at school or at the office, not at home. So who's that, right?
So
That's
akala
a
mo,
dop-
you think
right.
this person is there, yung pala.
Right. It's a doppelganger.
Or sometimes you hear voices, right?
Right.
Like, for
Yes,
example,
in the house.
you hear someone calling you.
Right.
Okay, for example, your mom is calling you, but but when you go there, your mom isn't there. She's
Right.
not at home.
Right.
But you heard the voice. It's very, very clear that you heard the
Yes.
voice.
So they're playful, eh?
Yes.
Doppelgangers.
Most of them are playful.
Most of them are
Unlike the
playful.
German belief, it is a foreboding or an omen of something
Yes,
bad.
yes.
But here it's not. Some of them are playful.
Now, okay, let's talk about human spirits. And we talk about human spirits, we're talking about the souls or the energies of
Okay.
of people we know
Yes.
who have passed on
Okay.
to the other world. Now, there's a lot of talk that when someone dies, that that energy or the soul sticks around for 40 days,
Okay.
right? I mean, there's a 40-day theory.
Yes, yes.
Now,
Yes.
what do you gentlemen have to say about that?
That's nothing to do with the time they spend on Earth.
Well, it depends. Let's put it this way: it's their own will.
Yes.
They choose
Choice.
to remain on Earth as long as they want.
Right.
It's their own free will.
You know, the 9 and the 40 are just symbolical. Because of the Catholic belief that, you know, Christ stayed there, that after 40 days, something like that, he ascended into heaven. So the assumption is that us humans also do that. But it's not like that, because human spirits can stay here for as long as they like, because there's volition, there's free choice.
Free will.
Yeah.
What keeps them
So
here?
many things, so many reasons. One could be unfinished business. One could be they don't know they're dead, or they know they're dead but they just want to stay,
here.
or they're attracted to the energy of a place,
Or to a person as
or
well.
to a person as well.
It's possible.
Right.
So, you know, we've heard countless stories that when someone passes away,
Yes.
then maybe the household
Yes.
of that person, the same day or the day after, sees that person in the garden or in the house.
Yes.
So
possible.
there is some truth.
Yes.
There could be some
Especially
truth to this.
children. Especially children. You see, everyone has the psychic ability, but as we grow up, we tend to be logical because our educational system is focused on the logical side. And we try to shy away from these things and tell our kids, these are figments of your imagination, that's nothing, don't believe in that, or that's the work of the devil, you know, things like that. But that's wrong, because you see, we all have that ability. We're just fortunate, the spirit questers, that our environments, the environments we grew up in, are open. That's why we still have this. We're able to retain it. But you see, these abilities everyone has. So it is possible that, you see, if a person dies, a child will see, I saw Lola, or I saw
Lola, or-
somebody.
yes.
Yeah, I saw Tita. She was just there talking to me.
Now, is it good or bad that they linger, or is it better than they move on to the next? Because we always talk about
Right.
moving to the light.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, what does that mean? Okay, when
Moving to the light?
Yes. Why move to the light? What is the significance of the light?
Well, let's put it this way: the light. The other side of the light. It's a better place.
Yes.
It's a better plane. It's an entirely different plane than what we have here. So it's really quite incomparable to describe or to compare how it is here in this plane versus that of that plane. As far as we know, it's a way better plane than what we have here.
In our experience as questors, we never are able to go to the light, otherwise we will be dead.
Yeah.
But we do see the light. For instance, I could see like a cylinder, or probably like a circle on the ceiling. Yeah, I'm an empath, so there are times that I am the spirit, okay? The spirit takes, I channel the spirit. So I move to the light. So I could see that I come closer to the light. And then when I see the light, suddenly it's all dark. I cannot enter anymore. But the spirit has moved to the light. And the others who are clairvoyant can see literally the spirit moving to the light.
If they haven't moved to the light, would it automatically follow that they're not happy? That
Not
there's some-
exactly.
No,
Not
not
exactly.
necessarily.
Like I
Not
remember there
necessarily.
was this case before wherein they had the quest in this particular place. So they had a quest and they were able to move some of them to the light. They had assumed that most of them had, or all of them had gone to the light. A year after they went back, and when they came back, they still saw some of the spirits there. So they asked, why are you here? Why have you not moved? Can you not see the light? The spirit said, yes, we can see the light, but it is our choice. We still want to stay here. Why don't you want to move there? It's a better place.
Does it make a difference? I mean, if they stay here, they move to the light.
Yeah.
What difference does it make?
Well, it's they want to do something else. Unfinished business.
Unfinished
Yeah,
business.
unfinished business.
Or they just want,
Or they
going
just
back to the
want
story
linger.
itself,
Yeah.
they just want to be here. They just want to be with their loved ones.
Yeah.
They don't want
Or
to let go.
because it's a
yet.
different form already there. So they are not yet ready to assume a different form. It's new to them. It's like a newborn baby, you know, trying to crawl. So
Here, although they haven't moved to the light, they're still among us. It makes them maybe hold on a little bit to
Yes,
their.
yes.
It's
Because-
like made them human.
Yes,
their
yes.
humanity, their
Right.
humanness. I want to
Yes.
say humanity.
Yes,
Humanness.
humanness.
It's like their comfort zone.
yes,
It's like a comfort zone. That's
it's
also
familiar.
one possibility.
It's familiar.
Should relatives urge their loved ones to move the light? I mean, should?
Prayer is one. Yeah, you can pray for them, but then
No, but if it's not really doesn't necessarily father unhappy,
yeah,
then
but
it's okay.
it's a free choice. It's free will, actually.
It's free
no
will.
matter how many times you tell your the dead relative
To
move to the
move
light,
to the light.
if that dead relative doesn't want to move the light, you cannot force that dead relative.
Now, okay, let's talk about being able to talk to them. So you're saying that a lot of our loved ones have can still hear us, are still
Yes.
around,
Yes.
and we
Yes.
can still actually communicate
Right,
with them.
right.
They have that sense. I mean, that
Yes,
awareness
right,
still.
Right.
Excuse me. Yes.
That's
Yes.
true.
How about, let's say, the ability to move objects, to generate
Okay.
smells?
Poltergeists.
Why is that
Sorry?
possible? If these beings have crossed over to this side, how come it's still possible for them to manifest, make themselves apparent to us?
Okay. It's like
And why
this.
is it, let's say,
Mhm.
if you see something, if you notice a presence, maybe it's at the corner of your eye,
Right.
maybe, or
Okay.
it's never clear.
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to the
Oh, but
first.
in our case, it can be clear.
Well, that's a different story. Okay, let's go back to the first question about how they are able to move objects. It's all energy. We believe that all things are
Yes.
energy.
It's true.
In fact, everything is energy. This chair,
Energy.
this is like compacted
Compact
energy. We are compacted energy. So in essence, everything is energy. Now, if an entity or a spirit gathers enough strength or gathers enough energy, it is possible to make a physical item move
That's true.
because of that energy that the entity or the spirit has gathered.
Yes. And there's also basis in science. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's just
Yes.
transformed,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Energy to matter.
transferred,
E equals
yes.
mc squared,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So that great theory
Mhm.
by Einstein. So there, it takes a lot of energy
Mhm.
for a human spirit to
Or
cause
or an entity
or an entity.
to actually make an object move. Now, to the second question you were asking about why is it always the peripherals?
Yes.
Okay.
Like you notice something pass
Yes,
by.
yes,
Countless
Okay.
accounts of
Yes,
people
right.
who have
Right.
noticed
Uh-huh.
a fleeting
Yeah.
image to
Okay.
Yes.
in
Or a black
Peripherals, right?
peripheral
figure.
vision.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because this view, okay, the peripherals, that's the most relaxed part of the
Yes.
human eye. And that being the relaxed part, that is the most prone
That's true.
to see.
What do you mean by relaxed?
Alpha
I mean, when you say
state.
relaxed, I mean, how can this be relaxed in my front vision? Not
This
so
is what we
relaxed?
usually use to
Okay.
see things.
Okay.
But this, we don't really use this to look at things, right?
Yeah.
But we do notice those around us. So it's the part that's not really used. In the same manner that when we do hold quests, we fast or we don't eat so that we can reach the alpha state, which is a sort of meditative state, just like what the Buddhists do, the Hindus, and even the monks and the Muslims do, and even Catholics. We fast during Holy Week, right? We do that to elevate us to an alpha state, to be more meditative, to be more attuned to the paranormal state.
No wonder sometimes, and it's happened to me also, you kind of see something in the corner of your eye, something move or shadow or some sort of
Right.
apparition, but then when you look, it's not there. Then
Yes.
you dismiss it. You say,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
probably just
Yeah.
my
Yes.
imagination. Maybe my eyes are tired. Or,
So that's not true. I told you earlier, as I mentioned earlier to our listeners, we all have that ability. So that is part of our ability, but we have suppressed it. Right?
So that's why also you can also notice in the rural areas, it's much more,
true.
how do you call it?
More open.
More open.
More open.
People are more open there, and they tend to believe more because let's put it this way. I'm not demeaning people or something, but that belief is more prominent or more strong in the rural areas rather than in the urban areas.
because they still cling on to, they haven't, the belief system is still there.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
And could it also be, I mean, does the physical surrounding have anything to do with
Yes,
That's also
the
the-
intensity
yes, yes.
of
It's
this
a
kind of
combination
phenomenon?
of so many factors. Could also be the environment. We are in a very logical world today here in the city, and we are surrounded by so many gadgets. So we tend to dismiss these things as nothing. But the rural folk are more attuned to the basic things in
Yes,
life. They're more observant. They're more relaxed. They're more
Absolutely less
Yeah.
busy, less
Less busy.
stressed, less preoccupied.
they're
with
more
other
attuned to their
things.
spirituality, if you will notice also. Unlike us, urban dwellers are more commercialistic than the rural folk.
Perfect example would be a fiesta.
Yeah.
Why is it fiestas in the rural areas are much more fun or much more elaborate in comparison with fiestas here
Here.
in the urban areas?
Well, guys, hold that thought. We have
Yes.
to pause for a break.
Sure.
When we come back, we'll talk about dreams, more of psychic abilities, and that B word, bangungot. So, stay tuned. We'll be back.